Two chained WordPress bugs have kicked off a cyber feeding frenzy. An autonomous AI agent breaks into Hugging Face, while the company's own AI gets locked out trying to fight back. The Qilin ransomware gang targets a Palo Alto VPN bug. And another major healthcare supply chain breach. This is Cybersecurity Today, and I'm your host, David Shipley. Let's get started. A pair of WordPress flaws now chained together under the name WP2Shell has gone from proof of concept to internet-wide feeding frenzy. Security firm Watchtower says its honeypots have logged tens of thousands of exploitation attempts since a working exploit hit GitHub. Researchers have already counted more than 100 backdoor administrator accounts created on compromised sites. Searchlight Cyber, the firm that found the flaws, says the attack has no preconditions and can be pulled off by an anonymous user. Searchlight Cyber didn't find WP2Shell by hand. They found it using OpenAI's GPT 5.6 Soul model, which reportedly worked out the full exploit chain in a little over 10 hours. Here's the chain. WP2Shell stitches two bugs together. CVE-2026-6330, a root confusion flaw in the REST API batch endpoint, and CVE-2026-6137, a SQL injection sitting in WordPress core. On their own, each is a mild headache. Chained, they hand an anonymous attacker remote code execution on a stock WordPress install with no plugins, no login, and no special configuration. That's a full-blown migraine. WordPress shipped patches on Friday with versions 6.9.5 and 7.0.2, and given the severity, the project took the rare step of forcing auto updates across affected sites. But being patched doesn't undo a compromise. Google-owned Wiz found that by Tuesday, 60% of organizations running WordPress had at least one vulnerable instance, and a quarter were exposing one straight on the open internet. Attackers moved quickly, uploading web shells, enumerating admin accounts, and in at least one case, trying to plant a Go-based remote access Trojan called Overlord. One of the payloads is a 150 kilobyte web shell dressed up as a legitimate security plugin called CMS Map, packing file management, database access, port scanning, and a stack of privilege escalation models. Defenders should comb their installs for new administrator accounts, rogue plugins, and stray files, regardless of whether they've already been patched. Hugging Face, the open-source AI hub that hosts more than 45,000 models for over 50,000 organizations, says it got breached by an attacker who wasn't human. In its incident disclosure, the company said the intrusion into its production infrastructure was driven end-to-end by an autonomous AI agent system, and that it detected and dissected the thing largely using its own AI. Here's how it all played out. The agent started where AI platforms are most exposed, the data processing pipeline. A malicious dataset abused two code execution paths, a remote code dataset loader and a template injection in the dataset config to run code on a processing worker. From that foothold, the attacker escalated to node-level access, harvested cloud and cluster credentials, and moved laterally across several internal clusters over a single weekend. Hugging Face says the campaign ran as a swarm of short-lived sandboxes, each firing many thousands of individual actions with command and control that kept migrating itself across public services. In the company's own words, this matches the agentic attacker scenario the AI industry has been forecasting. The attacker made off with a limited set of internal datasets and several service credentials. Hugging Face found no evidence of tampering with public models, datasets, or spaces, and says its software supply chain came back clean, though it's still checking whether partner or customer data was touched. Since the attack, Hugging Face has closed the vulnerable code paths, evicted the attacker, rebuilt the compromised nodes, rotated every affected credential, and brought in law enforcement along with outside forensics. Hugging Face still doesn't know what model powered the attacker agent. It operated with no guardrail restrictions. Hugging Face's own responders, however, were hit with the opposite problem. When they reached for hosted models to run forensics, the guardrails on those models blocked the work, and the team had to fall back to a model they could run on their own infrastructure. The Qilin ransomware crew has found its way into a Palo Alto flaw that's been sitting exposed since the spring. Arctic Wolf reported on Monday that it worked multiple distinct intrusions in June, all starting the same way. Exploitation of CVE-2026-6237, and authentication bypass in Palo Alto's PAN-OS GlobalProtect, and all ending in domain-wide Qilin encryption. The bug itself is a nasty piece of work. It lets an unauthenticated attacker forge GlobalProtect authentication override cookies and stand up a legitimate-looking VPN session, strolling straight past perimeter authentication and into the network. Palo Alto disclosed the vulnerability back on May 13th and initially rated it as a modest 4.7. Then Rapid7 published a working proof of concept in late May, and Palo Alto revised the score to 7.8. Exploitation had been running in the wild since May 17th. What Arctic Wolf is describing now is the ransomware phase. The tradecraft varied from one intrusion to the next. Some were smash and grab, encryption-only jobs. Others went the full double extortion route with data theft layered on top, which points to several Qilin affiliates working the same exploit under the ransomware as a service model. Once inside a network, they moved fast, staging payloads in the perf logs directory, spreading laterally with psexec, dumping credentials, and clearing event logs on the way through. Arctic Wolf assesses with moderate confidence that these Qilin intrusions are still ongoing, and they have lots of room to work. Shadow Server counts more than 167,000 GlobalProtect instances sitting on the public internet, and Shodan fingerprints north of 172,000. Qilin has been at this for a while. It's operated since 2022 under the Agenda name, and now claims more than 2,000 victims on its leak site. Among those victims, Nissan, Japanese beer giant Asahi, pathology provider Synovis, and Australia's court services Victoria. Another healthcare software supplier is cleaning up after a break-in. Craneware, an Edinburgh-based firm whose billing and financial software is used by more than 2,000 U.S. healthcare organizations and close to 10,000 clinics and pharmacies, told the London Stock Exchange on Monday that attackers got into a subset of its environment and walked out with files. The company is playing the severity of the breach down, at least so far. Craneware says a significant volume of file names was viewed and exfiltrated, but that a large chunk of it is non-sensitive or already public regulatory data. It also acknowledges that some employee data and a subset of customer and partner records were taken. The incident has been contained, operations weren't disrupted, and outside specialists say there are no residual indicators of compromise left in their systems. Craneware has notified the UK's Information Commissioner's Office and the FBI. The forensic investigation is ongoing. Craneware software helps hospitals and pharmacies handle billing, which puts it close to enormous volumes of patient and medical data. The company hasn't spelled out exactly what was in the stolen files, and it hasn't said whether anyone has made a ransom demand. Shares of the firm dropped sharply when trading opened on Monday. The breach lands in the middle of a sustained run of attacks on the healthcare supply chain. Fortified Health Security reported last week that providers flagged 6 times as many supply chain risks in the first half of this year as they did a year earlier, with nearly 2/3 of them rated critical or high severity. Ernst & Young has started notifying some clients that their personal and financial information was caught up in a data breach. EY is one of the big 4 accounting and professional services firms, with more than 400,000 employees across 150 countries. And the exposed data is exactly the kind you'd least want to lose. Names, addresses, government ID numbers, account numbers, credit and debit card details, all pulled from documents used to prepare tax filings. The break-in didn't happen inside EY's own systems. Attackers got into a third-party IT service management platform that EY's tech staff used to support the teams doing tax work for clients. The snag is that the support tickets on that platform sometimes carried attached documents stuffed with client tax data. EY says the intruders were inside from March 28th to April 12th, quietly pulling down files before the firm caught anomalous activity on April 23rd. Clients only started getting notified in July. EY hasn't said how the attackers got in, how many clients were hit, or which vendor platform was breached. No ransomware or extortion crew has claimed the haul, and the firm says it hasn't seen any sign that stolen data has been misused. Affected clients are being offered 2 years of credit and identity monitoring, and plaintiff firms are already advertising class action lawsuit investigations. And that's Cybersecurity Today for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. I've been your host, David Shipley. Thanks for listening. We appreciate all of your feedback. Feel free to reach us at technewsday.com or .ca, or you can leave a comment under the YouTube video. I'll be back on Friday with the latest headlines. Until then, I hope you have a great week and stay safe.